So welcome, Sophia, to the Trust Golf Women's Scottish Open. It's been a really remarkable year for you after your AIG Women's Open win, your first LPGA title, your first major. Can you just talk to me about how the 2021 season's been as a major champion, and how special is it to you to be a major champion winner?
It's probably a lot better than not being a major champion winner. I think, normally my season would have been a lot different had things not gone the way they had last year, jet lag. So it's just been amazing. It's been very fun. I think I've just enjoyed it a lot. Not just the end of last year, but the beginning of this year too. It's just been quite freeing, to be honest, to just go out and play, and knowing I'll be out here for hopefully a while, and I can actually take everything in and like I said, just actually really enjoy it without, feeling the constant pressure of having to keep your card. And so it's just been, it's been fun.
And also you just competed in the Tokyo Olympics. How was that experience? And is it really special to be able to call yourself an Olympian?
Yeah, 100%. I think I've said that multiple times, but it was, I think for me, one of my biggest accomplishments in my golf career, because I think it's just very rewarding. Ever since golf became an Olympic sport, it's been one of my goals and one of my dreams. And I talked to my coach about it a million times. I said, we're going. And I never played well enough. And then after last year, I felt like, this is finally my chance to climb up in the world rankings to actually make the team. And I had such a good time. I stayed in the village all week, and it was definitely a very memorable experience for me.
And just lastly, before I open it up to questions, so this is your first time at Dumbarton. What's your thoughts of the course, and are you excited to be back in Scotland or back on links after the Women's Open last year?
So firstly, to the course, it's awesome. I played all 18 today, and it was very enjoyable. I think it's a great golf course. Obviously depends on the weather conditions that we get. You can tell it's fairly new, but I think it's a great test, and I think it could be set up in so many different ways that'll keep it very interesting for the week. I'm very excited to be back in Scotland. I quite like it here, as most people would probably think by now. And I think it's just been a very, very intense season. Our schedule is very packed, especially with the Olympics last week. So I think I'm a little bit tired right now still, just with the jet lag and everything, but going out and playing today was very fun for me. I had a good time, and it kind of reminded me a lot of last year. So I'm excited to be back.
So I think Elsa, you have a question?
Yeah, hi Sophia, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good, yeah. Listen, when Graham McDowell won the US Open, he said he couldn't wait to get to the next US Open to stop the madness and get back to some sense of normalcy. I just wonder if you can relate to that, and do you feel the same way, or where do you come from it?
I guess in some ways, yes, but I think that next week is still going to be a little bit crazy for me. Yeah. Just obviously trying to defend, and I think it's a great spot to be in. I think a lot of people would wish that on themselves, to be able to defend a title, especially a major title. So I'm very, very excited for it. And I don't know, it has been a crazy year, but at the same time, it's been very fun. And I mean, if it were up to me, I would just want to keep it going. Like, I wouldn't mind doing it all over again. So I'm going to do my best to try and defend.
You said he felt a bit overwhelmed at times. Have you felt overwhelmed at times this past year?
Yes, I do think so. Quite honestly speaking, it's definitely a position that, you have to get used to being in. It's not easy. I think that you underestimate what comes with winning a major championship. And I was able to firsthand experience all that this past year. And at the beginning, it was all fun and games. And at some point you feel a little bit overwhelmed. I think my personality always, I think, suits the position that I'm in. For most parts, everything is fun, but it's definitely more demanding. The schedule is more demanding, the time that is required of you. And, but like I said, I mean, those are all things that are easy to complain about, but really that's what we're all hoping for.
Thanks very much. Play well this weekend, next week, huh?
Thank you. Thank you.
Louise?
Let's just say on Sunday that you're in the same position as you were a year ago. Now, what would be your ideal way of playing the last hole? What would you want, crowds everywhere, or did you like the silence of just walking down the last hole with your
Boyfriend, yeah. It's actually, it's a very interesting question because I've actually been asked that a few times, and I think that somehow the silence last year and not having very many spectators made it very special in some way too, because you could really take in the atmosphere of being at Royal Troon and really what it's like on an everyday basis. And I think that I really enjoyed that. I know my boyfriend Max kind of enjoyed that. We could have a normal conversation and actually hear each other. But at the same time, this year I found the last maybe 2 months we've been playing with spectators again, and it's been really, really fun. And I kind of forgot about how much I actually enjoyed it. So I think if I were in the same position, I would actually quite enjoy having a lot of spectators for a change, especially with the 3-shot lead. Let's talk, like, if it was a 1-shot lead, maybe let's talk about it again, but 3 shots, that would definitely be more fun.
Beth Ann, you have a question?
Yeah, hey Sophia.
Hey.
Just first, could you just assess your game right now, and then what's your experience at Carnoustie?
I think as far as my game goes, I'm actually overall it's pretty solid. I think there are a few things here and there that I'm working on, especially when it comes to scoring. I've been hitting it a lot better than my score would suggest the last maybe 4 to 6 weeks. I haven't been able to make quite as many putts as I would have liked to. I've been putting well, just not making them. Especially last week, that was a little bit tough because birdies were the name of the game. And so I think it's in a better position than I would even like to think. For next week, wait, what was that question again? How do I feel about next week?
Have you been to Carnoustie? What's your experience?
Yes. Yeah, I played my first Open there in 2011, and then I played the British Am there in 2012. So I've seen it twice in completely different conditions, actually. So I know it can be really fun and it can be really not fun. So so I'm hoping for really fun.
And then one more, Stacey Lewis was in earlier. Slow play was a big topic at this event last year. How would you assess where the tour is in dealing with slow play, and I don't know, just your overall thoughts on what it's like week to week?
Yeah, you're asking all the fast players. Is there a reason for that? No, just me being a very fast player. Slow play has always been very tough for me. I think I literally, most of my mental game that I work on is to keep calm when everything's slow. So I would love to see it a lot faster, to be honest. I still think we're in a very slow spot. I think most of the tournaments we're playing, I honestly, half the time, I can't believe how slow it is. And I wish, I don't know, I'm not in it. I'm not a rules official. I don't know what would help and what would be most, the easiest way to combat it. But I feel like there definitely has to be something done about it, just to make it more enjoyable. For some of us players that are very fast, it's tough, and we talk about it a lot. I don't know the best way to go about it. So for me, it's all about just learning how to deal with it, and just to assume I'm going to be in slow groups and still be able to play well like that.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Michelle?
Yes, I just wanted to clarify.
Hi.
This time last year, you were playing this election a couple of weeks before you had the game. And you had to see one of the 2 players that you brought in to the festival. It seemed like this one was realised where you belong. yourself up as a win, or is it you won but then you realise you lost?
I actually think it goes both ways. I think partially that win really helped my confidence out here, and just to realize for myself that yes, this is where I belong. And I saw myself for so many years in this position, but it just never worked out. So it was kind of more of a just, making a point to myself and saying, listen, you really, regardless of how you play, you should be feeling this way. You should tee it up every week with the most confidence possible. If you're not hitting it as well, it doesn't matter. Like, if you don't have any confidence, you're not going to play well. And yes, last year helped me. But at the same time, I think I also went into the Open with quite a bit of confidence, just because I was playing well and I was actually enjoying it more. And I think with enjoyment, the confidence comes. If I'm not having a good time on the golf course, I'm not confident. I'm not having a good time, obviously. And last year, I think those weeks leading up to the AIG Women's Open were just very, very exciting, very enjoyable for me. So many different things, caddying one week, playing well the next myself. And so I just think I played with a different sense of enjoyment, really. Yeah, it's been my biggest goal, to really, actually have a good time out here. I mean, regardless of how I'm playing, the last 2 months, I've had a few stretches that were definitely a little bit more challenging for myself, where I wasn't hitting it quite as well as I'd like to, but I found a way to still have a good time out here. I have a lot of good friends. I go out and I support my other friends when things aren't going my way. And I think that's something that I don't want to lose. I just want to have a good time. I don't want to look back and have any regrets on how I played or how I took in everything at a tournament. Just kind of, be more present and have more fun overall.
Thank you so much, Sophia, for joining us, and good luck this week.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.